What are the factors that actually determine how valuable something is? Or let me readjust. What are the things that actually increases the value of something? If you think properly, then you will find out that there are two factors. There are two things that actually determines if something is highly valuable or not. The first one being the demand, and obviously the equation of supply and demand. If something is in very high demand but has a very low supply, then obviously the value will be really high, the price and everything will be really high. But in other than this, there is one factor that I think people overlook a lot. People miss this particular factor a lot, which is human touch. In human society, if you have seen, uh, people don't generally consider this human touch factor a lot. But to be honest, in the market, if you go and have a look in any sector, not only in IT but in any sector, wherever there is the factor of handmade, there is the factor of custom made or tailored, that considers a very high value, that demands a very high value. It can be handmade cars, custom made engines, or flats, homes, or even in terms of digital goods. If it is bulk produced, if it is produced by, let's say, machinery in a factory or in a particular preset, then the value tends to become really low, tends to fall a lot. But if it is tailored, if it is custom made, then definitely the value goes up a lot. Now, why am I discussing this? Because I have this feeling that we as human society is slowly moving towards a time, a future, where this particular human touch value, this customization, this one of a kind value is gonna increase tenfold, hundredfold. Why? It all has to do with AI. I was just thinking about it from just a normal like human perspective. What AI is doing to our society. So if I say from, let's say, a layman's perspective, then after AI came, the only thing that a layman can see is a lot of the tasks, a lot of the jobs, many things are getting automated, right? A lot of human labors are not needed anymore. If I say from a software engineer perspective, a lot of code, logic, building time, junior developers, and a lot of things are getting replaced. Now, what does those lead us? The only future that leads that to is slowly we will keep on increasing this. Slowly it will happen, that because right now people are really mad about, like, not mad, but I will say really crazy about getting the most productivity in the shortest amount with the least amount of cost, or with the least expense. That is why companies, organizations, they are literally rushing to get stuff for cheap. They are rushing to make sure that they can get as much as they can by spending as little as they can. So if this trend keeps on going, if this thing keeps on happening over the time, then I'm quite sure that there will be a time when 80%, 90% of the industry, not only in IT, but obviously we can see what AI is doing to other sectors as well. So slowly it will start creeping into all of the different civil, mechanical, electrical, all of the different sectors. So the future that I can see, that I can envision, is slowly everything is gonna be so much automated that the price, that the value, not necessarily price, let me rephrase it, not necessarily price, but the value, what it holds to the human society or to a single individual is gonna reduce a lot, is drastically gonna reduce. Because think of it, does not matter how many sample data you train the AI with, it does not matter what sort of algorithm you write, it does not matter what sort of resources you, assets you provide it to. At the end of the day, it is still a machine. At the end of the day, it is still not a human being. So it will always lack something, and that lacking thing is human touch. It will not have the creativity. If you see in the society over the time, different years, different generations, one thing that kept on changing is trend, lifestyle, creativity, the different forms of art, anything that has to do with human touch, anything that has to do with taste, that kept on changing. And people were happy actually to bring change, because if you kept on using one single thing for a very long time, it gets boring for people really soon. So just think of it. If it happens that AI is gonna do most of the thing, automation is gonna take over a lot of the things, it is not gonna give you human touch things. It is gonna give you things which is similar to factory made, which is similar to how machines do the job. So the value is gonna go down a lot. And when this sort of thing becomes common, that anywhere you look it's mostly automated, it's mostly machinery goods, what is that one thing that you will crave the most? Custom made things, tailored things, or handmade things. So this is kind of my hot take, which is, yes, in the future maybe we will not need this many human hands, or this much human resource to build stuff, to make stuff. But slowly human society will move to a direction where we will end up valuing humans so much in terms of giving us things that the robots cannot make or the AI cannot make, which is things that need that human touch. It can be art, it can be different sorts of extracurricular things, let's say music, or some sort of photography, videography, all of those things. It can be let's say products which are handmade. Like, it's not that they cannot be made using machinery goods, but what differentiates it? For example, let me just give you a very quick example. In automobile industry, in car industry, there are a lot of brands, a lot of cars which do like really well in terms of selling their cars or in terms of producing excellent cars. But you will find out that Bugatti has its own value, or even Rolls-Royce has its own value, like, which is, I will say, not in terms of monetary value, but in terms of how people look at it, how people value it in terms of their feelings. That has a totally different league. The reason is because they are custom made, they are tailored towards the user, they are handmade. So I feel the same thing is gonna happen in any industry, let's say even in IT industry. What I can feel is later on down the line what will happen, different sorts of media, different sorts of form will come in all the different industries, where we will have one category which is, let's say, the mass created one, which will be mostly used to get the things done. So let's say websites, or let's say tools, different sorts of platforms, software as a service, or all of those things, like the things which are basically used to get the things done. So we will have one of that sector, and that will be mostly done by AI or automation or machinery and that sort of stuff. But one sector is gonna emerge a lot, and I feel that is creativity. People will be there who will be asking to build custom websites. People will be there who will be asking for tailored made services, which will define their own business or their own brands. Even right now, if you look around, you will see most of the people who are asking AI to build their websites or giving prompts and hoping to get a result are only those who are just going behind money, who are just going behind quick revenue and that sort of stuff. But if a company is already well established, and even not like company which are already well established, which, let's say, company which started from one point but now have come to a really big position, after crossing a certain threshold, they are looking for brand identity, they are looking for uniqueness, they are looking for that human touch, that what is creative about their brand. And I feel the value of this particular sector is going to grow tremendously. I feel like, yes, a lot of junior sector, a lot of freshers job and everything will get cannibalized, but this value of things which needs creativity, which needs human thinking, which needs this uniqueness, the value of this particular sector is going to grow a lot. And that is why we as human beings have to take that preparation from now on. Like, I feel if you do not properly think about it, if you do not start to take step starting today, you will start to fall behind, because it is already happening behind the scene. It's not like it is not happening right now. It is already happening and people are already doing it, but it is not that well known. It is not that much revealed in the society. If you look carefully in the right place, you will be able to see it. And that one thing that I feel that all of us should start to incorporate, we should evolve into, is we have to make sure to sharpen our creativity skills, to sharpen our unique thinking. There was a time when if you went to school, colleges, educational institute, training stuff and all, as long as you got the job done, as long as you performed really well, you produced good results, that's all that mattered. But right now I feel that you have to take this step where not only the result have to be really good, not only the result have to be outstanding, but there has to be something which is what is unique about it, why I should choose this thing. And you will find out in many sectors where competition has gotten so high, the amount of sheer amount of numbers, the quantity has become so high that everybody is asking the same question: why you, or why this thing particularly? And I feel that's where creativity shines, or let's say human imagination shines. So I feel if you are not ready to accept this, that slowly we will have to evolve our thinking, slowly we will have to make sure that the products, the different sorts of things that we are creating, they not only fulfill their purpose of satisfying some need or resolving some sort of problem, but they have their unique point, they have something that they do in their own way. If we are not thinking about this thing actively, then I feel like you are gonna get lost in this world of AI, in this world of automation, because everybody is gonna ask you, this looks like just a copycat, or this just looks like a cheap copy of something which is already there, so why will they choose you? So I feel as a human or as a software engineer, we now need to think, what is it that separates us from just a robot or just some sort of AI work? What is it we bring to the table? How are we, let's say, if I strictly speak in terms of software engineering, let's say, then I will say the things that we will need to think about right now is the solution that we are building, the software that we are building. How can I make sure that it is prepared for the future? It is ready for any sort of expansion, new features, architecture level, or even the fact that how can I make sure that this thing can evolve with human taste? What do I mean by that? Let's say I gave you a simple job to create a website, and you created a website which is very much looking like a generic website. Everybody is gonna skip it. But now you need to think, in today's day and time, which particular trend is which particular trend is popular, or what is this particular product or solution is tailored, is marketed towards. So let's say if it is a new generation product, Gen Z product, then probably you will need to think about their language, their lifestyle, their trendy UI UX designs and stuff. But if it is targeted towards millennials, then probably you will think a lot more conservative, a lot more performance oriented. So that's just one example that I gave you. But what I feel is your focus, not only you have to think about solving problems, not only you have to think about making an efficient solution, but you also have to bring that human touch, which is what can I do that the AI or the automation cannot. If we are not ready to think about it, then I feel you will get laid off. Mark my words. If you cannot adjust with time, if you cannot prove to the society that you as a human being have something unique which cannot be replicated by automation, you will get replaced. Those are the words that I said today, and you will be able to match every word of that sentence in the future. So my question to you is, before ending this video, I have a question, which is, what do you think AI is taking us? Where do you think AI is taking us? Where do you think this human society as a whole is going? Are you concerned about it, or are you, what sort of steps are you thinking to take in your life to be relevant in the society? Because obviously it's not only about, let's say, our job or something, it's about human livelihood, right? It is going to create a very big change in the society, and whenever a big change comes, it does not affect a single category, it affects the whole human society as a whole, not like one sector or one category or one religion or something like that. So my question to you is, what are you thinking to prepare, or how are you preparing yourself for this change? Please let me know. I am very intrigued by this thought, and I would love to discuss this with anybody. Thanks.